What's going on? I'm gonna make this short and brief. This is just it's not necessarily a response video from BGS Itmore video on the birth rates in the United States. It's more or less a question to ponder, and the question to ponder is regarding low birth rates. If they really wanted to, as far as the government policymakers wanted to increase birth rates or the incentive of getting married or having children, they would change ideally the child support laws to reflect um, a more consensus approach to child support, such as they did with the tax credits, the stimulus checks that they gave, or is also giving to mothers or families with children. So I'm going to show a picture of basically what the qualifications are for basically the child care stimulus that they're about to roll out, right? So if the government, the Fed, can just basically say the requirement, for the stimulus is you can make no more than $75,000 a year. How they can do that? They have the power to do that, right? But you're expecting an individual person to basically have a blanket check child support responsibility, such as it's not any type of there's guidelines that states follow, but it's not, each state is different when it comes to how they regulate the payment of child support. For example, they are giving basically $500 to any, this is for 18 to 24-year olds. So I believe for minors that are infants to 18, they're giving $300 a month. So if you can cap that as a standard rate where everybody gets, if you have, minor children, you can get $300. And the government is saying that is enough for a child. Why are individuals that are just private citizen, John Q taxpayer, expected to basically pay more than a standard $300 a month, which I think is very pretty much just standard as far as a child from infant to even 18, because depending on, I think, obviously 18-year-olds need more money, or actually they would, I would say need to get a job, but let's just say infant to 17. I think that $300 to $500 is a standard cap rate that is enough for a child. Because see, what's going on with child support, as far as I pay child support. I pay, me and my ex-wife, we have basically agreement, and I pay her cash every month for taking care of my children. But the thing is that when it comes to the whole child support issue, that is really what's driving men away from wanting to have children. It's actually even putting fear in men, because they're hearing other stories of men. You got men that are, contemplating committing suicide because their entire paychecks are being siphoned away from child support. It's people that have already committed suicide because of child support, have committed violent acts towards the mother of their children because of the highly pressurized situation of them paying very high child support obligations. So, all of that being said, you got men, unilaterally, whether it be all across the board, no matter what race, that is avoiding having children because of these, because the basically, child support. And marriage is definitely something that is also another drag into slay. But child support alone is something that is a reason why men are putting their putting a fence on their sleeve, and it's like or pretty much it's just something that men are not trying to risk right now, especially with how things are in the economy. But if you look at why, I'll address the question again, why the government can say, okay, you can get this standard rate of $300, but an average citizen has to pay more, if not a blanket check, which meaning whatever you make, as far as how much you make, according to how much you make is what you pay in child support. And the expectations is not reasonable, because a man is not supposed to take care of the entire household of a woman, in cases such as the woman has other children that are, not the father that is paying child support. It's very common that one guy would pay for all of the children in the household, and including the lifestyle of the mother. And this kind of slimy type of kind of succubus or parasitic behavior is why men are definitely not trying to sign up for marriage or even delaying fatherhood, because they don't want to be in a situation where they have to forego their entire paycheck due to child support obligations. But the government, with the powers vested upon it, can say, okay, well, we'll give you just $300. That's sufficient, or $500 for 18-year-olds. But they don't want to interfere with child support, right? So it's just a question to ponder. Why is there no standard child support rate? I mean, it kind of goes into, I understand it kind of has some Marxist or even socialistic type of kind of policy, because basically you would say that no matter what the case may be, whether you however much the man makes, if well, in this case, that's not what I'm saying. Basically, I'm saying if the man makes less than $75,000 a year, obviously, if the mother in question makes over $75,000 a year, in essence, she shouldn't even need that much child support because she already makes that much. But let's just say the father in question that is obligated to pay child support. I'm not saying men should not pay any child support, but just the whole blanket check system that we currently have, where it goes off of whatever you have in your bank account, how much you make, and everything like that. Why is it that a man that makes less than 75,000, why can't he just pay a standard rate? All men pay a standard rate, whether it be $300 to $500 a month. If you make over 75, it be some type of gradual increase percentage wise, according to how much the man in question make as far as child support obligations, according to his salary after 75,000. That's just a question that I have to ponder. I mean, obviously, most likely women will say no, that's not reasonable, or that's blasphemy, because basically a lot of times women, that's what their lottery ticket is. Their lottery ticket is, I'll go meet this baller, get pregnant, and then he'll pay for all of my mistakes, including my my lifestyle. And a lot of guys are not signing up for that. That's why, you have people that, are just kind of shrugging off fatherhood or even delaying fatherhood into a later age. And yeah, then that leaves the other guys that don't really care about getting shooting up the club because, I mean, ideally, they don't. It's kind of like it's kind of like it goes into the thug. The thug doesn't care about jail or prison. He's almost like, pretty much he knows that it's inevitable by his actions. Well, the let's just call it Johnny Appleseed or yeah, Johnny Appleseed, he's kind of the same case. He doesn't necessarily care about child support obligations. He's broke. He doesn't really have that much money, and shooting up the club is just another Tuesday. So everybody else is pretty much from that extreme to the next, to the highest extreme, which is no children at all, having a vasectomy, versus just the in between people that's kind of like indifferent about it, but is concerned. Yeah, you got guys that are just they're not really participating in this situation because the child support laws are very, very biased towards men.
Message.